We are a troubled country, not because of absence of enabling laws to make the system work, but lack of effective execution. The same thing applied to regulators who go to sleep at the time of need. The Coroner Inquest has revealed that the 21-story building on Gerald Road, Ikoyi, Lagos State, collapsed due to negligence by regulatory agencies responsible for approval and supervision of the projects, according to the Coroner Chief Magistrate A.O. Komolafe, who announced the verdicts on the inquest into the tragic incidents which occurred on the 1st of November 2021. Violations in the development of the collapsed structure is to be blamed. Gentlemen, we see a lot of this in our country. That how many buildings under construction have gotten a kind of clean bill of health from this regulatory agency? And is there a way I can settle somebody from inside? Because I saw a video of that particular building when they came to, when they came to stop the work on site. And I saw the video when they started again. That means somebody that knew somebody, had called somebody, had compromised the standard at a point in time. I saw a letter at a point in time of one firm that was handling, they said, look,
the
consultant, that we are no more interested in this thing. That, look,
we have compromised on quality.
Quality standard. And Lagos State is number one. When you go to Lagos Island, when you go to a lot of buildings, and what we suffer every other day in Lagos, building collapse, building collapse, building collapse. For this one, this is like an eye-opener. This agency must sit down, must sit up.
Well, I think from my experience, what I've, my encounter with this agency, the lead agency in Lagos State, that's the Lagos State Building Control Agency, it's not a good one. One, this agency has layers of operation that even makes it difficult for proper coordination. For instance, in the area I used to live before in Lagos, Abuleba, we were building. Some from this same large car office, we say they are from the Agege office. The team will come from there. Another team will come from Alausa. Another team will say it is from this area close to the NAF base in Ikeja. What's the name of that area? Where you have the old secretariat.
Okay.
3 layers. And then they come to your building and they come to ask you for your papers. And you tell them, my papers are in. Meaning that even if you give them, they are not coming with any document to stop your work. Meaning that they have not done their due diligence in their own office. They are just like the guys of the old NEPA who will be coming to ask you for your bill when they should know the houses where they should be going from their own office. So, once the owner is not there, because they always request for original copies, which anybody building in Lagos is not likely to give to this foreman or the supervisor on the site. Yes. They will lock the place up and walk away.
So it's more of punitive.
Yes. What they want basically is, Oga, settle me. Not to come and look at the building.
Quality control.
There was a day they came to this particular one I'm talking about. And they went and asked the man, come and tell us how strong is this building. And I came back and the man said, he told them, but you, that you are going around, you should have things with which to test. So they just walked in with nothing but policemen harassing everybody everywhere. Then they said, yes, They were going to go back to the office to go and bring bottle. And the man said, it's even very simple. Take hammer, start hitting on the wall. And let's see if it's going to come. That's the kind of thing that happened. And like you said, the same person building that was in charge of the building that collapsed couldn't do it in South Africa because they said he compromised standard. They didn't allow him. Even the governor himself went to that building. At some point, they sealed it and told him to come to Alausa. And then work resumed in that place. What does it show us? Just like you have said, somebody has spoken to somebody, somebody has spoken to somebody, and then the place is flipped up. One, Lagos State should reduce the number of agencies supervising building construction. It should then go further to reduce the number of power centers in even the approved agencies. So that when a team visits you, where you are constructing, you know that this team is the authentic. Two, you know
use the red tapeism.
That those people who have come, they have not come to demand for bribe indirectly. They have really, really come to do their job. Let them be armed with the documents that they need. If you are going to construct, you have a file, you have everything. And in these days of technology, it's just at the touch of a button. We now see it with the Nigeria Customs Service. If they stop you, even on the express now, on the expressway now, to be sure that you have genuine documents, it's not just what you give to them. As they are stopping you, they are putting in your vehicle number. Something comes up. They can see if truly this vehicle came in and was duly cleared. It's time we get to that point. You don't need to come and be harassing somebody who is constructing to give you papers. You should be the one telling the person, you are yet to regularize this because we can't see it on our system.
Asuko, what do you make from the verdict of this inquest?
Well, I think it's timely, and I hope other, just like Dotu said, because there are so many things that are very, very wrong when it comes to building in Lagos, and we, just like he said something about an agency. Right now, there's another agency called Material Testing Agency.
So many.
If you want to build, Ayo, even for you to even get land in Lagos, it's a problem. Because somebody can say, I want to sell one land somewhere in Ikoyi. You need to still go. If you don't go to an agency that is involved in mapping out the survey, of Lagos, because there's everywhere in Lagos is being mapped out. Because there are some places in Lagos that you can't build.
It's government restricted.
Yes. There are some places that it has to be a canal that has to pass through that place.
Channel.
But there are some people who don't know all these things. It is only when you start building that you now see the agency coming, to come and tell you, no, this place that you built is supposed to be a channel. And then what do? You start asking yourself, do I remove my building there? Or what is the alternative? The alternative sometimes is that when you go back to that same agency, there are some people who will tell you, cut one part, give a space, then do a channel that will pass. Meanwhile, that is not the original thing they're supposed to do. So we have so many layers and so many government officials who are trying to cut corners where they are not supposed to. And that is why this happened. When it was supposed to be 15 floors, that is why that particular company removed their hands off when they saw that the owner of the place wanted to increase the number of floors.
21.
Because they didn't want to get the name of their company sold by what will happen eventually. So if our government is really interested in making sure that things are done properly, they must make sure that their officials stick to the rules and regulations that are in place. Because you can't have so many people. You want to build a house, somebody on Monile will come. The people in local government will come. Sometimes police will come. Another thing, they will send somebody from Alausa. And so many, not even the building alone, even somebody from the lands will also come to even check whether that land that you are building on has been approved. Or is it maybe it doesn't have, there is where the channel is supposed to pass through. And this is, if you have one agency, one particular place, oh, I want to buy this land, this is it, and I want to build a house. One particular agency is supposed to do everything for you.
One-stop shop where you can
Just
do
everything. And just like he's saying, I don't know whether it's the new Dotu is now getting more high-tech, and he's talking about apps. Everything you want to do in Lagos by now, everything should now be online. You want to do your driver's license or the one in Lagos, go online.
Mega city.
That is why we are saying it's a smart city. It is just unfortunate that the owner of this person, and then we lost 40 lives in this particular incident that should have been averted. You know, so Ayo, the Lagos State, I believe that they are listening to us. Let them streamline operations when it comes to building in Lagos. The building, the project board was there, and it was showing names that were fictitious, numbers that when you call, it won't go. Those are some of the things that Lagos State need to check, especially when it comes to building.
Jide, the coroner inquest verdict said the collapse was due to negligence by regulatory agencies. What do you make of this?
In 2014, when we lost about 115 people in the synagogue church collapse, 84 of them South African citizens. There was a coroner's inquest. The coroner's inquest said basically what a lot of us thought was the problem. The non-adherence to building codes and regulations. There are standards that ought to be met, especially when you are building a high-rise building. But when you fail to adhere to the building codes and you fail to use people who have the requisite technical knowledge that can make that project successful. And then you resorted to bribing people in the urban and regional planning board and other stakeholders. This is what you will get until we begin to punish building collapse, building culprits of building collapse heavily. This thing will not stop. And Lagos has acquired a terrible name when it comes to building collapse in our country. In 2019, 43 houses gave way in our country. 17 of them were from Lagos alone. The nearest state to Lagos was just 6 states. 17 houses gave way here in Lagos. Why are we continually having building collapse in Lagos? Because even this year, some buildings have also given way. Why are we continually having this problem? It shows that the regulators are not doing their work. The same way that they fail to do their work and the synagogue Church of All Nations building collapsed and killed that many people. That's the same way it happened at Gerald in Ikoyi, when it was said that the planning permit was for 15-story building. And somebody decided out of unrestrained greed to take it all the way to 21 floors, killing people in the process. We've got to punish heavily by way of forfeiture of a piece of land, by way of hefty fines and even jail terms for people who build houses in complete disregard for building codes, and such houses eventually collapse. The texture of the land is important. It's not every piece of land that can hold a skyscraper, that can carry a skyscraper. The texture of the land in the Lagos area is different. So people shouldn't expect that everywhere that they feel like starting a high-rise building, they can go ahead and do it. It was clear that in the case of Gerard, people were compromised. And
Okay,
because they were compromised, they could do their work.
Let me quickly pay this bill. Jide, we'll be right back after this timeout. It's the final lap of journalist hangouts on Sunday, and I still have Babajide Kolade Otitoju talking about the Coroner Inquest in Lagos State. Jide, over to you.
Yes, corruption, in my view, is the biggest problem. When Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was governor of Lagos, he discovered that on Awolowo Way, a high-rise building was built on a drainage channel. What did he do? He decided to punish people in the agency who gave permit for such a building. Because what do you say if someone now presents a permit duly procured, saying that he could go ahead and put that building there? So he decided to look at that ministry, and he sent people packing. There are still bad eggs who are refusing to do their work in that agency, and they need to be fished out. The way the policemen are fishing out policemen who are known for aberrant behavior. There is a need to fish those people out. You see houses built with defective, with substandard materials. Houses that even the way they are standing, they look defective. Yet you wait and wait until those houses give way and kill people. It has to stop. The biggest problem is in Lagos. If 39%, 39.53% of building collapses in our country have happened in Lagos, then we should know that it is Lagos that we have to focus on. There is something wrong, and that has to be addressed. What happened in Gerard would not have happened elsewhere outside our country. But we permitted it to happen here, and we wasted innocent souls. The blood of those people who died will be on the neck of the fat cats in the agency responsible for oversighting building projects in the state who failed to do their work.
Asuko, as a matter of fact, after this, the two other buildings, I don't know what Lagos State will be doing with that. They said it will go down through controlled demolition. I think it's still standing.
Yeah, it's still standing. So that is where we also want the Lagos State government. Just like I told you about the material testing agency, the agency in charge of it. So they will check if that building is still worth standing.
I think they've checked.
If they've checked
it has failed the integrity
test, then they have to pull it down. There's no point skipping, because that is what we even give Lagosians hope, that agencies of government are working. It's not that you just have agencies and at the end of the day, when the government says do something, they won't do. Rather, they at the end of the day, Ayo, if they don't pull down those buildings, it means that somebody somewhere is telling them, leave it. After some time, they will forget, and then we'll let it out. That is what it means.
That's dangerous.
So the best thing is pull it down, let Lagosians have confidence that when once they are going to shortchange or try to do any mago in quotes, their buildings will come down.
And recently, if we have buildings like that, if the Lagos State, they will take over that site,
Immediately.
you forfeit
Yes.
that land.
That's what that's the pronouncement of the governor. That's what he said. Lagos State will take over the land, and I think it's good. Whatever is going to be of communal benefit, put it on it. Football pitch,
To send a clear signal to people.
a park where people can play. Just put something there so that Nigerians can benefit from it.
And